Straight talk from Israel. You're listening to Israel News Talk Radio.
Hi everyone, this is Orly Davis and this is from Jerusalem with Love. Today is June 10, 2020 and we are here in Israel, the Holy Land, looking at the last few weeks with awe and with a prayer for grace to America. We have many challenges at hand and one must put importance to what we do first. Our perspective needs to be focused. We have to understand what needs to be done. We have to act and what make a difference. We have to take a resolve and to stand with it. The change is coming and we have to be on the right place. No matter what anybody say, you must understand that this way is not the right way. Anywhere in the world, we are facing the coronavirus. We have incredible escalation of tension in the Middle East, in the region, in the perspective of annexation of Judea and Samaria on July 1st. And we have a lot of threat all over that is coming and we need to focus. Today I'll try to talk to other people about the issues in Syria. But first we're going to start with something kind and nice about music. And we're going to say hi to our friends from all over the world that are listening to us and make sure that they understand that sometimes music can bring people together. So I wanted to start with that in the next segment. And then we're going to talk real serious business with one of a major league reporter in Israel. Then we're going to take the time to check on the technological threat and what needs to be done. A lot of things is happening and you have to be ready. The only thing is we need to keep ourselves in motion. The motion is now. And I can feel the energy in Israel and they are pushing. So just start thinking, what is your plan and where you're going to go and how we're going to end up and what is the target? What at the end of the day we really want to do. So let's go to a break and we'll be back after this.
Israel is located in one of the most volatile areas in the world. Israel is an island of stability in a sea of war and unrest. In the midst of this turmoil, Israel stands out as a beacon of order and human progress. Each week we update you on what's happening in this, the Jewish state, a true light unto the nations. This is Jay Shapiro. Join me every Thursday on Israel News Talk Radio.
And we are back. It's Orly Davis, and this is from Jerusalem with Love. Today I want to welcome all our friends from around the globe, from United States, from Israel, Canada, United Kingdom, Canada, of course, Norway, Germany, Australia, South Africa. Hello. It's so good to have you. And we must gracefully salute the foreign minister of Germany that came to visit Israel today, in regard to the latest news. However, last week we touched base with music, with a very nice group of musicians, and we were thinking that music can connect us all, and we need some peace and quiet and just to listen to our heart. And sure enough, I got introduced by chance, or as we say, there is never chance, by God Almighty, to Mr. Eran Solomon, a teacher of Torah and a teacher of the music. And he was so graceful to agree to come to the show. Eran, welcome to the show.
Oh, hello.
It's so good to have you. Listen,
Happy to be here.
after I hear how you play, I'm so happy that you're here
Thank you.
because
Thank you.
because you make our world better, and we need music to touch our soul. And last week I also asked from American friends if they can send some music, and sure enough, Art Levine, a graceful friend and listener to Israel News Talk Radio, sent us a beautiful music, and Mr. Solomon was graceful enough to even to play it for us. Thank you, Mr. Solomon. Yeah,
You
it
for the
was
opportunity.
excellent. And thank you, Art Levine. So tell me, what project do you have about the music that connect all? Something that we discussed that is really interesting to everybody to know about.
Yeah, first I'll tell you a bit about what I do. I teach, I call it the wisdom of music. Other people call it music theory. I teach how music works. And I have this studio in Jerusalem where I give these workshops, these lessons. And of course, last March, because of all this crisis, I found myself practically unemployed before I increased my online activities. But suddenly I had more time on my hands. So I sat near the piano, a thing I haven't done for quite a while, for improvisation. Just I began to improvise, and suddenly I find that I'm creating new music. I'm composing a piece which, in my mind, had healing powers or something which had to do with health or with well-being. I don't know. And then came another piece like that, and then arose in my mind this idea of a project which I called Slilim Lirfu'ah, sounds, healing sounds,
healing sounds,
for
right?
Healing, tones for healing, whatever. And I asked for people to send me their music, and I played their music. The 2 or 3 people really got in touch with me and sent me their beautiful pieces, and I uploaded my 2 pieces into a playlist in YouTube. And I had this feeling that perhaps if all people like us, musicians, united in creating such music, it would bring the world health. It was really at the peak of the crisis. And
right. It will unite people. And, sometimes things happen for a reason. As you were sitting home, you start playing, and that's a blessing. Now, tell me, what's the name of the site that they can go to, or the YouTube? Are they going to put?
It's just my channel on YouTube, which says Eran Solomon, Solomon with 3 O's, and there is a playlist called Cylinder over there. But if anyone wants to send me my music, just get in touch with me. You can leave a message there, of course. And it's so simple today to send music across the world. It's amazing. So,
right,
no problem.
And they can send it to the studio too, like we do, and we'll pass it on. And if it's a great, and we can add them if we're their permission to the list. The thing about it, we are uniting forces with the music industry right now because the people, the leadership talk so much, and we need something to calm us down. And music does it the best way,
But I felt also when beginning with all this, I felt that what we do is obviously we know the power of music to heal, and there's music therapy and the healing music, but I also felt it was like a kind of prayer, because that's also what music does. It's a kind of prayer. It's the prayer in front of Hashem, and he is really sending something into heavens, good vibes. I don't know.
And you know what? They always say when you read the prayer of the Jewish, they said, Shiru li shir chadash. Give me new music. Stop saying, make God listen to new music. Create something. It's like, the art comes through you sometimes through prayer. And Mr. Paul Solomon is doing such a great job. I'm so proud of you. And I know... Yeah, I listen to your music. You're fantastic. So I will recommend people to send the music my way or to Mr. Solomon site, and let's see if we can create a bunch of music that will make us better, and we heal out through this incredible time, and we will be better after this crisis. Is that true? Bezrat Hashem, God willing. Yes, listen, I know that you have a school to teach. I know that I caught you before, so I want to let you go. And if you have something to say, please say it to the audience. They're listening to you from all over the world.
Well, I would be happy to hear some notes, some sounds from my music. More than all we talk, as you said yourself.
Right. We need the real sounds of music, and we need to just listen to our heart. God works miracles when we start connecting with the universe, and music is a way to connect between people and also between the people that have the ability to create music, but they bring people together. If you see concert, there are thousands and thousands of people, and they come to music. They come to be together in one. Even that we cannot connect right now because of the corona, it's always a good thing to teach. To learn the music and play it, and wherever you can. Now, what kind of Torah are you teaching?
Well, I really like the hidden side of Torah, the Kabbalah, and actually I've begun giving lessons just recently in English. I have a very good friend called Harav Eliyahu Shir from South Africa. He is now in Israel. He made Aliyah. And together we broadcast Torah lessons together in a YouTube channel. Also, it's called Loving Kindness, I think. You can search for Eliyahu Shir. And
I see so many Torah lessons online, and for some reason it captures our heart. And whatever you do, good for you, because we need it. There are many rabbis and people in English is more important sometimes because there are so many Jewish in the diaspora that need the understanding, and they don't have the connection, with the.
Sure.
And most rabbi in America, they speak mostly Yiddish. It's something that it's really odd to me, but if you study Torah, let me at least understand what I'm saying, what you're listening to. And that's the Torah, connecting with God, elevate your spirit so much so you can face any music that you play, music of the life that play to you, and even you get the strength and you get empowered by that. That's why the music is so good connected with the Torah. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to listen to you on the Torah show. I'm going to sure that to check in. Okay?
Okay, thank you. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, so Mr. Solomon, thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate it. God bless you, and I hope we have so much music to share your way. All right?
Amen.
God
You
willing.
do. Yeah.
Amen. All right, darling. Thank you so much, Mr. Solomon. Appreciate it. God bless. All right. Music makes us happy. Music makes us feel good, and it even makes us sad when it comes. It connects. It actually creates the memories that we need to last forever, and we need to do that now when we feel that we can overcome maybe a strength for the music, the people that inspire you. There are so much online. Thank God for Google. Thank God for YouTube. Thank God for the ability for us to send our words, our music, our art, our whatever, letters through this system so people can listen to us. But when they listen to you, please be kind. Just be nice. We have the rhetoric of the politician, and I don't want to comment on them, but inspiration is not there. We need to want to get some other source of inspiration, and we are looking for it. Sometimes Hollywood used to give us the platform to imagination, and for some reason they think that we want only action of, killing and whatever. They're still in that mode, and we need to change the page on that. The Oscar of last year, this year, was a bust, and that's just remind them that whatever they deliver, they will face. So I know that there are a lot of things to talk about. Next segment, we're going to talk to Yoni Ben Menachem, one of the legendary reporter in Israel news. So I want you to stay put, and we'll be back after this.
The Tamar Yona Show.
Tamar? She's sassy.
She's smart.
She's funny.
But she's also a real Jewish mother.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tamar Yona. And yes, I can be all of those things. But at Israel News Talk Radio, I'm here to bring you the news stories and guests that you may not hear anywhere else. Join me live on air Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays for the most unique and bold talk radio in Israel.
The Tamar Yona Show.
And we are back. It's Orly Benny Davis, and this is From Jerusalem with Love. We have the legendary Yoni Ben Menachem today, one of the best reporter that Israel has. He understands the things on the Arab world. He broadcasts, and he is fantastic, and I'm so honored to have him on my show. Yoni, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Orly.
I'm so happy because, listen, the region is getting hot. We know that the tension are rising, and we want your perspective. And, people are asking why people want, to make some conflicts going on with the Palestinian and Israeli. And I want you to answer. First of all, let's look at Syria. What do you think is happening there?
Well, what we see in Syria is there are first signs of a new unrest in Syria. In some places in Syria in the last few days, there are riots and demonstrations because of the deteriorating economic situation. And the Syrian economy is in a very bad shape, and in a few days, on the 17th of the month, the Caesar law, the new American sanction law on Syria, will go into effect. And Trump administration.
And what does it mean when they say sanction? Don't they have already sanctioned there? What are they going to add up?
Yes, they have a sanction, but there is a new law, which American law, which is expanding the sanctions, and not only on the Syrian regime, but also sanctions on whoever support these regimes. That we're talking about Iran, we're talking about Russia, and we're talking about Hezbollah. And this is something which is very frightening for the Syrian people, and because of the bad situation, economic situation, they started rioting in the few places, calling Bashar Assad to go home. And once the sanctions will be expanded, this will put a lot of pressure on the Syrian regime, and I anticipate that there will be very strong internal pressure on the regime, and this is something that Bashar Assad is very worried about.
Of course, because he knows that when America start pushing, it's not funny. You don't mess with America. Now, you think that it's going to reflect on Russia? Because Russia thought that they are a better player. They play with America as far as keeping in check everything there. Don't you think?
Yes, it's going to affect Russia, definitely. President Putin took a big gamble when he decided to help military Bashar Assad, and he brought in forces into Syria, and he expanded Russian presence in Syria, and he was hoping that he will be able to stabilize the situation and gain some profits from the Russian presence in Syria. Now, this new American law and the strong sanctions might affect the Russian president plans for Syria. And what I wanted to tell you is that the Americans, they actually warning Bashar Assad, and they delivered a special message to Bashar Assad through the Russian.
Wow, okay.
Telling him, look, there is a way out from what you are going to experience once this new law will go into effect. So we're giving you a last chance to escape these sanctions, and you should stop bombing your people, the civilians, the rebels in Syria, and you should make sure that the Iranians are leaving Syria back home to Iran. So if you do these two things, these two conditions, then you can avoid the strong sanctions. But apparently Bashar Assad rejected these American demands or conditions, saying that these are Israeli demands and not American demands, and he's not going to do that.
Now tell me, Yoni, I know that in the last few weeks, Iran was transferring a lot of money to Iraq. Are you thinking that they're planning something major there? Because Iraq is connected to the region, to Israel, and it can threat through Lebanon with Hezbollah, the well-being of Israel in the north, and making sure that, if you think about Jordan, that is in the mix too. Do you think that they have in preparation something?
The situation in Iraq now is different because there is a new Prime Minister, Mustafa Kazemi, this is his name. Used to be a journalist once and also the head of the Iraqi intelligence, and he was appointed as Prime Minister, and he's accepted both on Americans and both on Iranians. And the Iranians are very worried because in a few days there's a strategic dialogue which is supposed to start between Iraq and the United States, and they don't want to lose their influence in Iraq. So they're very worried, and a week ago there was a visit of Ismail Kahani, the Al-Quds force new commander, the one who replaced Qasem Soleimani.
Soleimani, right?
Yeah, his successor. He came to Iraq and he met with the senior officials there. They're trying to make sure that the new Prime Minister, Kazemi, is staying on the same policy, preferring Iran over the United States, and they're very worried from this dialogue, which is now strategic dialogue, which is now going to be open between the United States and Iraq.
Now, when it's going to take place and where? Is it going to be in Iraq? Because the news are not reporting on it. You think that, it's going to be eye level, or it will be behind the scene kind of talk?
No, this is open. This is not secret talks. The new Prime Minister already agreed for such a dialogue. We don't know whether it will take place in Iraq, in Baghdad, or maybe in Washington, maybe in both places. We'll know, I think, in a day or two.
Wow, that's it. That's amazing, because a summit like this between America and Iraq, with Iran in the play, it means that Iran is coming back to the talks, right? This is it's a different game.
It's a different ball game. Actually, the new prime minister, he declares that he doesn't want Iraq, his country, to be the arena for a clash between the United States and between the Iranians. And this is what he's saying, of course, publicly. But we don't know exactly what are his real intentions, and whether he's influenced more by Iran or by the United States. As I said, he was appointed and it was acceptable for both sides, but we don't know. He didn't shape yet the Iraqi policy, so we have to watch closely what is going to happen in these strategic talks between Iraq and the United States.
That's why I guess that the Iranians are pouring money over there so they can, suit his mood, I guess.
Yes, they don't want to lose their influence. After the assassination of Qasem Soleimani, they lost a lot of influence in Iraq.
Right.
And now the new guy, the new successor, Ismail Kahani, he has a lot of difficulties to go into Qasem Soleimani's shoes in Iraq. And of course, we have to remember that the Iraqi parliament made a decision that all the foreign forces should leave Iraq, especially the American forces.
They are kicking them out.
This is a very sensitive issue, and we have to follow it and see what develops in the coming weeks.
Right. Is the Russian going to take part of it as part of supporting Iran or something? Because Russia, no? No. This is
a game. Actually, it's a competition between the United States and Iran. Who will have more influence in Iraq? There is a military American presence in Iraq, which is very important for the United States. And Trump doesn't want to withdraw his forces from Iraq. He wants to stay there, and Iranians are pushing the Iraqi authorities and the new prime minister to make the Americans leave. So it will be interesting what will come out in the end.
Absolutely. We have less than 2 minutes to go now. Do you think that the issue of annexation is going to put something in the game, because it's July 1st is coming up? Are you think that we're going to annex Judea and Samaria?
I think that the annexation is very important, especially the settlements blocks and the Jordan Valley. This is something which is very important for the security of the state of Israel. It's an historical opportunity, and we have to do it before the American elections. Because we don't know what will be the results of the American election. President Trump is a great friend of Israel, and this is a unique opportunity.
When you love him. Yes. Listen, we ran out of time. We're going to do a break, and we'll be back after this.
In a time where feelings have become fact, where rational thought and common sense has disappeared, one man stands above it all.
I'm Howie Sobiker, your political hitman.
Political Hitman airs every Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. North American time, 7 a.m. Israeli time, only on Israel News Talk Radio.
Are you interested in transforming your life, drawing closer to the Creator, and uncovering the deeper meanings and hidden treasures in the Hebrew Bible?
Then join me, Rav Yitzhak Michelson,
and me, William Hall,
on The Science of Kabbalah, where we are seeking to narrow the gap between what we understand of our physical and spiritual worlds. So make sure to tune in every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Israel time, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, here on Israel News Talk Radio.
And we are back. This is Orly Benny Davis, and this is From Jerusalem with Love. Now, when we start to worry about things, we need to worry about, what makes life going. And it's very, very important for us to understand about infrastructure. And I invited a very special guest, Mati Epstein. He's the head of industrial system. Okay, can you help me out? Your head,
yeah,
Mati?
It's industrial control system security solutions in Checkpoint.
At Checkpoint. That's it. You guys make titles so incredible because you have so much responsibility. So tell me about the threat and the challenges that we're facing with this incredible cyber war, or in computer era that we are living in. What threat do you think it's the most important to us to focus on?
Okay. So first, thank you for inviting me to this call. Critical infrastructure is something that covers and surrounding our life all over. So we are talking about computer systems that are managing industrial processes, which are monitoring water systems, electricity water systems, manufacturing processes in a factory. It can be chemical factory, food factory, doesn't really matter what it is. And those are recently became subject to cyber attacks, cyber breaches. The last one that was very famous here in Israel is an attack on the water systems of Israel that took place a few weeks ago, and our officials blame the Iranian in attacking those systems. And the results... Sorry?
I said, is it confirmed that it was Iran? Because I know that Checkpoint has a threat system going on. Do you think that it was them?
I don't have any additional information beyond what I read on the news, but the Israeli news were very precise in pointing out that the source was Iran. But again, I read the news the same as you can, so in that aspect I don't have additional knowledge. But this is a typical kind of attack that, again, it's not really important if it's Iran or not, but the fact that somebody can take a decision that will influence the amount of chlorine in our water by a specific and very well-targeted cyber attack, that's something that put us in concern, and this is relevant for every utility around the world. We know about attacks on the electricity company in Ukraine a few years ago, where the people were sitting in blackouts for several hours during Christmas Eve. And attacks are taking place all over the world all the time on critical infrastructure. Some of them causing damage, some are not.
And electricity is something that make all the life possible these days. And when you have an attack on such a system, this can actually paralyze or put a whole country in check. What precaution, what step people or countries need to take at this point to prevent it from happening?
So first they have to have the awareness to the fact that those attacks are taking place in our life, and definitely countries, governments are aware of that, and they are taking several steps. The one is regulation that force critical companies all over the world to comply to some guideline of cybersecurity. And this is where Checkpoint comes to the picture. We provide a set of technology that can be used in different networks, different environments, and can detect, can identify attacks while it's happening. And of course, the main effort is to block them as early as possible before they cause the damage. And this is a game that goes on and on between the hackers and the protectors. So Checkpoint is one of the leaders in the world, is definitely taking a big part in protecting those environments. And this is a challenge that does not have an end. It's an ongoing challenge, ongoing game, I will say. And that's something that we are really worried about.
I think that we all need to make sure that our infrastructure, any kind of communication, or even electricity and water is powered by computer and everything, and any access of stranger forces can dominate and can change the livelihood. So I really would recommend everybody to check with Checkpoint. They have the capacity, the knowledge, and they have the manpower to help people fix whatever need to be fixed or to prevent any attack from happening. Is that correct?
That's definitely correct. And definitely Checkpoint is putting a lot of effort in research, in intelligence. We do have teams of many people that are investigating and providing some research that try to imitate the way that hackers are attacking those networks in order to develop the right means of security. Because as I said, if you don't know how the attackers act, definitely it would be hard to protect. And therefore we must have a lot of intelligence, a lot of systems that are monitoring all over the world known kind of attacks and hopefully new kind of attacks all the time, in order to develop the new protection for tomorrow.
That's amazing. Mati Epstein, thank you so much for coming to the show. It was a great, it's a great honor to have you here. And I know Checkpoint is one of the leading forces in the industry these days, and I recommend them so much for the work they do and how they're reaching out for the community to help them. Outstanding company and outstanding personnel. I love to talk to you every time, again and again, and I appreciate you coming on the show, Mati. It's really cool.
My pleasure.
I hope that
Thank you very much.
if we have any news, please let me know and we'll put you on again. All right?
I will do that. Thanks a lot. And, have
beautiful.
A good evening.
Yes.
Thanks.
God
Bye-bye.
bless you. Thank you so much. It's amazing because when we're talking about threat, we have all kind of threat, and the threat even just mentioning of doing something can put in alert and mobilize a group of people, and of course group of terrorists, and hackers is one point we have to put them in mind. Now the dialogue in the region right now is warming up because King of Jordan Abdullah is meeting with the foreign minister of Germany to see what can be done. But I want to put something in perspective. When they talk about the work of people about the Palestinian state and Palestinian territories, we need to come to conclusion that there were not any Palestinian territory ever. State ever. The territory was given to the Jewish people back. This is our ancestor war place from 2,000, 3,000 years ago, and we have the book, the Bible to show for. We have all these archaeological places, and there are places like Hebron, like the tomb of Rachel, which is definitely belongs to the Jewish people, which UNESCO need to put hostage under its wings and decided that it's Palestinian, which is ludicrous because Rachel is the mother of the Jewish people. Now, let's assume we're going to annexation. Annexation means that we're going to take responsibility over 500,000 Jewish people that live there. Now, King Jordan, that is really huffing and puffing about the fact that we are pretending or thinking about it or working toward this is a little off, because first of all, King Abdullah, you need to give back Temple Mount, because Temple Mount is the holy site of the Jewish people, and the fact you put a mosque on top, it doesn't mean that you own it. Second, annexation means that we are going to take responsibility over that land. But what happened if the day after Abdullah? The day after Abdullah, we're going to have the Prince of Jordan, that his mother is Palestinian. We're going to have a kingdom that is built by Palestinian leadership. The prince is Palestinian. So I see that the people in the negotiation state of mind don't even consider the fact that in a few years 20 years, 30 years. God bless him to live forever, but we have a prince that is going to be Palestinian. So the land of Jordan that was taken, from the mandate to Palestine that was given to the Jewish people. Again, Palestine was a territory, it wasn't a state. It was the culmination after the Ottoman Empire were kicked by Sykes-Picot Agreement between the Allied forces of France, England, and Germany, I think. So what we need to understand that Jordan is going to be a Palestinian state. So everything that he's talking about, he wants just another piece of land to accumulate to Jordan. And it's not going to happen because the Jewish people are going to keep themselves safe, and we're going to expand. It's going to happen today or tomorrow, it doesn't matter. However, with the Trump plan that I adore, love, and respect, and I wish him all the best to him and all his family, I want to say something. You can never drill a tunnel underneath Israel. You can never build a bridge on top of Israel to connect between Gaza and Judea and Samaria. It's not going to happen. It's our real estate. And somebody understanding real estate will not ever mention such a ludicrous proposition. That's why I say no to the plan, but I say yes to the annexation. So you guys think about it. We'll be coming again next week, God willing. Just be good. Let's pray to God to give us some grace. And whoever thinks to attack anybody, think again. We need some peace. All right? All the best and God bless. Ciao, ciao.
Where can you get the inside news on Israel? At Israel News Talk Radio, we're dedicated to sharing Israel's inside story with the world by providing our listeners with news on Israeli politics, current affairs, and Israeli Jewish culture. The Israel News Talk Radio homepage also provides you, the listener, with useful information at your fingertips, with scrolling news headlines, weather, currency exchange, Shabbat candlelighting times, and so much more. Our radio programming is always accessible and on demand. We operate absolutely free of charge for everyone, everywhere. If you love what we do, partner with us now by becoming an Israel News Talk Radio supporter. With your support, you'll be inscribed on our Israel News Talk Radio Wall of Fame. There's nothing like us in the world. Be part of something great. Israel News Talk Radio. Straight talk from Israel.
Howdy, this is Rita from League City, Texas, now living in Israel. And though my heart may have belonged to Texas, it now belongs to Israel and all the fantastic show hosts at Israel News Talk Radio.
Hi, this is Michael Solomon from Kiryat Arba, Israel. And why do I love listening to Israel News Talk Radio? Because I love listening to the interesting interviews they do and their news reporting that most other media sources don't cover.
Hey, this is Nicoleko from Malmö, Sweden. It gets pretty cold here in Sweden, so I love cuddling up with a warm cup of tea while I listen to Israel News Talk Radio.
Hey everybody, this is Frank Morris from Tennessee. Me and my dog Buster really love listening to Israel News Talk Radio.
You're listening to Israel News Talk Radio.
News, opinion, and more. You're listening to Israel News Talk Radio.